It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And coming up, we'll see Dak Prescott. He's going to have to air it out plenty this week. It's the Cowboys and the Lions, and it's all up next on EA Sports.
As the sun starts to set, we're going to see how much light is left by the end of this early evening game here on the NFL on EA Sports. Thanks for joining us, football fans. I'm Kate Scott, joined in the booth by my partner, Brock Hewitt. And this week, Brock, got one group coming in off a win, another off that well-earned bye. Should make for a really energetic game. I'm wondering if you think one has the advantage over the other.
Well, I'd like to know how every single body feels down there, but we don't. My guess is they're all hurting a little bit because once you get past the opener, you're never quite 100%. So I typically will lean with the team coming off a win. You feel good about yourself. You feel good in your preparation.
The punter, Jack Fox, to get this one started. And here we go from AT&T Stadium. Return coming here from the 12. And this return gets to the 30 before he stopped. So here come the Cowboys for their opening drive. Bringing him out, coming off one of his best seasons as a pro, an MVP runner-up finish in year number 9, Dak Prescott.
While we all love to talk about the quarterback, he really wasn't at the forefront of their win last week, Kate. Kind of took a step back and let some of his teammates shine. Yeah, he made a good mark with a touchdown pass, a bad mark with an interception. Welcome to life in the NFL as a quarterback. You know he wants to make a little more noise, elevate everybody else a little better than he did a week ago.
After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. Right back to Elliott now. And they'll take him down at the 43-yard line. They'll say he got 5 there, but Brock, all they care about is the first down that comes with it.
And the Cowboys, first down.
It was there, but he couldn't hang on. That's incomplete. Well, as we see the names populating this injury report, partner, we recognize they've had to do some adjusting over the course of the season as key contributors have gone down.
And this, right here, this is where fan favorites and surprise superstars are born, Kate. From guys having to step in as a result of these injuries. You never root for players to miss time and go down, but you'll always root for the guys filling in, who are getting their shot to make their name and contribute when it really matters.
Prescott now on 3rd down. Throwing the out route complete. And he's able to cross midfield before going out.
Here we go. Here's one of those game situations that just puts a smile on my face because I can think from Pop Warner to the NFL, everybody on the field's thinking the same thing. Can we go for it? Can we get one more shot as you end up just short on that 3rd down?
So now it's the Lions' turn to head out for the first time on offense. And leading them out in his 9th NFL season, he experienced a real resurgence last year. It's Jared Goff.
As you take the field coming off of a bye week, you really want to take advantage of what you just did. The self-scouting, the evaluating of yourself over the early part of this season, and make sure you capture what you want to do and what you have to do over the rest of the season.
On 1st down, it's Goff. Throw left side, and St. Brown has it. Gets it ahead, has about 5 yards. Play stopped by Damone Clark.
Sure showed off some mobility on that play. Got outside the pocket and easily found an open man.
Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. First give on the ground to Jahmyr Gibbs. And they'll only let him get up to around the 28 before taking him down. They managed a single yard that time. They're going to have to solve 3rd down and 4. From the gun, Goff. And oh, someone stepped in. It's intercepted. Trayvon Diggs has got it. And he makes the Husk go. It's a touchdown on the pick 6. Just tried a little bit too hard to get that 3rd down conversion. Brock wanted so badly to keep that opening series going, and that one cost him.
Yeah, I think it's less, Kate, in this case about the throw and much more about crediting the defense who was ready and willing to be opportunistic. Not just knock that ball away,
Yeah.
They wanted to take advantage of that opportunity, and they jumped on it.
Brandon Aubrey now on for the extra point. The point after splits the uprights. And the Cowboys will jump out to a 7-0 lead. Well, Brock, hopefully some short memories on offense as they get it right back here on the kickoff after that pick six. He fields it from the 8. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. The Lions and Jahmyr Gibbs back out on offense. And you know who the ball is going to when they reach the red zone. He's currently top 5 across the NFL in rushing scores this season. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Goff trying again here after the pick. Short pass brought in. And he'll get it out to the 34 before he's tracked down. Now after the play, we've got somebody injured down there, and it's their quarterback, Jared Goff, who's in some pain and needing attention. After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. From the 34. That's caught. Here comes Jahmyr Gibbs. And he's going to get this up to the 45 before he's brought down. He brings the offense up now for a 1st and 10.
A gain of 11 on the play. 1st down, Lions.
Handoff to Gibbs from the gun. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
You know, the elite running backs in this league, they don't just see what's right in front of them. You set up big runs like this because they see what's behind them. That's called extraordinary vision and extra yards.
Going to the ground again on 1st. And the defense is all over this one for a big loss. Now after battling on that run, we see one of their linemen appears to be injured and in need of some attention. All right, here we go, 2nd down. To throw, Hooker. Into the hands of Gibbs. And he goes out a little short of the 40.
That's a defense's goal, right, Kate? Just get us to 3rd down so we can have a chance to get off the field. And that was a good adjustment on that stop in particular, when the back ended up being the target, and they were able to keep him short of the sticks.
Hits him on the out route. And he takes it just inside the 40, down to the 39. Now following the play, pretty quick stoppage. This is going to be for an injury, and oh boy. Sam Laporta, the one in some pain, he's being checked on. 4th down now, and out comes Michael Badgley in the Lions field goal unit. This from the right hash and a considerable distance. Has the distance, but headed well left, no good. And the deficit stays at 7.
Well, once you get out beyond 50 yards, everything in the process has got to be perfect. It's a good effort, but it's going to wind up off the mark.
The Cowboys have it in great field position as they come up to the line, 1st and 10. 1st down, here's Dak. Looking slant route, complete. And he'll cross the 50 and start pushing onto the opposing side of the field.
That is the epitome of staying on schedule. That kind of completion right there on 1st down. Well, it opens up the entirety of the playbook for 2nd down. On the 3rd and short in your back pocket, you can get even more aggressive and take that shot.
And he's dropped just short of the marker, maybe a yard away.
That offensive group really hoped he was going to get it all right there, reset it back to 1st down. But instead, the defense, well, they're not going to let anything come easy. And their fight is giving them a chance to stall things out on the 3rd and short.
That one's caught along the left sideline. And he's out just a second shy of reaching the red zone. They strike for 23 yards. And that's good for a Cowboys 1st down.
This entire play, Kate, depends on how well he can separate from his man. You get man-to-man coverage, it's really about 2 things, separation and trust. Because QBs want to throw it before he breaks, that's the trust, and then they got to believe that that separation could create the big play down the field.
And he's brought down after getting this to the 17, into the red zone. The rookie out of Alabama, there on the tackle. Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5.
Brings up 2nd and 5.
Once again, Elliott. And not much for him there. He's down to the 15-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup, and that leaves him with 3rd down and 3.
Brings up 3rd and 3.
On the toss, here's Elliott. Broke through the tackle. And finally, they bring him down. He shook off a couple of defenders there on a nice pickup. A gain of 5, Brock, and now they're going to have 1st and goal.
1st and goal at the 9-yard line.
They'll run here with Elliott. And he takes this down close, up to the 3. He gets him 6, and that's going to bring up 2nd and goal.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and goal.
Prescott set to pass. He's got it! And he maybe got back to the line there, but no further.
Well, the defense was ready for that throw, stopping him right in his tracks, right at the line of scrimmage.
3rd and goal, Prescott. Gets it towards the end zone, but it's incomplete.
QBs, well, they're a lot like the great shooters in the NBA. Hey, listen, sometimes you're going to miss. You just got to shake it off and keep shooting away.
For the Cowboys field goal. A 20-yard attempt.
Gay's kick is good, and that will add to their score.
Well, that's the type of long, sustained drive that takes some of the starch out of your opponent. The only negative is that the kicking team was out there for a field goal and not an extra point. But they do come away with 3.
Khalif Raymond to return it. He stopped on the return at the 27. The Lions getting ready to return to the field. They could only set up a lengthy field goal attempt their last possession, Brock, so some room to improve in how far they can advance the football here. Off play action, Goff. And down he goes. The Cowboy defense gets it done. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
Yeah, this is a time where offensively you got to regroup. You got to get in that huddle. You know, quarterback is the most important leadership position. Everyone's looking at you. And as a QB, after taking a sack like that, golly, you got to flush it, instill some confidence, and move this ball forward.
They really need some chunk yardage here on 2nd down. Trying again following the sack. That's going to be an incomplete pass on the throw to the right.
Hey, Kate, I know it's unrealistic to expect a 100% completion rate from anywhere on the field. But in this close, you really shouldn't be missing too many throws. Those need to be borderline automatic.
He stays up. Oh, no, ball's loose. Ball's loose in the end zone. And a defender's on it. This is a touchdown. The Cowboys capitalize on the turnover and add to their lead. As soon as that football hit the ground, Brock, we were just waiting to see, would it be 2, would it be 6? Who's going to get on it? It all came down to who jumped on it first.
Yeah, and in that mad race to the football, Kate, it was 6 points that won out. They were alert. As soon as they hit it and forced that ball out, quick to get on it before anybody on offense could try to salvage things and limit that significant damage.
That one right down the middle. And the Cowboys take a 3-possession lead. Still reeling a little after fumbling that away, but they're going to get it right back with this kickoff. Here's Raymond on the return. Finds some space. He's past the 30. And he brought this one almost to midfield before he's tackled. The Detroit offense getting ready for its next drive. This would be a good time for their first points of the game as they find themselves down a notable amount already in this opening quarter. I'll start on the ground with Gibbs. And he's brought down for a loss.
Well, he was supposed to be the one who chipped away a few and got a new set of downs started right in rhythm. Instead, he's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great effort defensively.
Back to the line they go. It's 2nd down. Shotgun snap here to Goff. He smartly won't risk something here and just chucks it away.
That is normally a gimme for this offense, these short throws. But the defense, well, they had just enough influence on that play to force the incompletion.
Complete beyond the marker. And they get this down to the 44 before he stopped.
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Offense set for a 1st and 10.
14. And the Lions, first down.
St. Brown's got it, complete. He'll work it a couple of yards past the line. Tackle made by Trayvon Diggs. While that play was going on, we see that one of their teammates shaken up on the play. Not quite sure what happened, but they're out there to tend to him. This is Gibbs on 2nd down. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
That's the type of call that offensively, man, it just builds so much confidence. I don't even think they were looking to get the 1st down. Just get to a manageable 3rd down, but instead they move the chains, and that is one disheartening look on that defense.
They go play action with... Caught him deep behind the line. Oh, the ball is out! And no turnover. It's going to stay with the offense.
You know what? Everybody on the field is going to make mistakes. The key is to clean that up as quickly as he can. Ball carrier loses possession, but he doesn't panic and lose composure. Instead, well, he hops on the ball and he saves the day.
Let's see what they dial up on a 2nd and very long. They bring a tight end in motion right. After the sack, another pass on 2nd down. That's going to be caught by Mitchell. And out of bounds right at the 40-yard line.
Sometimes when you're just looking to move it forward, get some small yards on a throw, quarterback's best friend, security blanket. And when it's a big old tight end, that's an extra bonus.
Oh, and he can't follow through. He had the deep shot for a moment, Brock, but he bobbled it and drops it. His first target doesn't lead to his first catch. So that brings up 4th and long. Punt team is on now, and they get this away. And this will fly out of bounds to deny a return. They're going to mark it a little before the 20. They're out and set, 1st and 10. Prescott here from the gun. Has him on the quick hitter. And they'll bottle this up after a 4-yard gain. Brian Branch getting there for the tackle. 2nd and 6 coming up here.
2nd and 6 at the 26-yard line.
That's the end of one, and yikes, things looking a little out of hand already. It's the Cowboys out in front. Back to AT&T Stadium in just a moment. Second quarter all set to begin, and it'll be Cowboys football. They'll have 2nd and 7 to deal with. Working out of the gun, it's Prescott. Got Lamb, and it's complete. They touch him down as he finds enough to pick up the first.
That's just great instincts. Go air it out on 2nd down rather than just play conservative and run it. They hit a weak point in the coverage and don't need to worry about 3rd down at all.
Elliott's on 1st and 10. And he powers through the middle for a gain of 4.
You know, Kate, these are some of the little hidden plays in a game, right? Doesn't look like a whole lot on the stat sheet, but A, it gets you good yardage, B, it sets up your play action, and C, most importantly, keeps that defense guessing.
It looks like we can call it about 4 yards in the end. Alex Anzalone there on the stop. Short yardage situation here. It's 3rd and 2. Prescott will look to throw. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. Working across the middle, Brock, it is tough for anybody to make plays through all that mess, even when you're the biggest and baddest pass catcher on the roster.
But as a tight end, you're going to be disappointed because that's what you're paid to do. It's one thing for those undersized receivers you talk about. It's another one for these big tight ends. You are paid to make that catch through contact, and he couldn't do it.
At their own 20-yard line.
Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Off the play fake, he'll throw. This one falls incomplete. Amon-Ra St. Brown, the intended receiver. And it sets up second down.
He was defended by Devon Bland.
Straight ahead with Gibbs. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of
He's
downs.
tackled at the 32-yard
To play running back in this league, well, you've got to have tremendous vision. We saw it twice. Once to find the lane upfield, and then to get to space and break off some extra yards.
He's got Khalif Raymond. It's a 13-yard play, and that's enough for the first.
to Khalif Raymond.
That is what elite offenses are all about. Why worry about 3 downs when you need only one? Move the chains in one play and keep driving that defense backwards.
And he's caught after a gain of about 2. Malik Hooker with the tackle. 8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this second down.
At their 48-yard line.
Out of the shotgun, Goff. Little off center, his man just couldn't adjust to it.
That just goes to show you can't take any completion for granted, even on some of the shortest passes in the game plan.
Goff on third. Short throw is dropped. This one's incomplete.
I'm not sure if he was hearing footsteps or he just had a surprise break in concentration. It's so unusual at this level to see a drop pass unless there's a hit involved.
Fourth down, and on comes the punt team, and the kick's away. And he's out of bounds, not the return that he had drawn up, no way, and actually loses yards. The Cowboys and Ezekiel Elliott just about set to get going on offense. And they haven't been shy about looking his way in the passing game, have they? You can see that so far this season, he's currently leading all running backs in receiving yards. Throwing on first is Prescott. And no look there, and that throw falls to the ground.
Well covered on that play. Really not a large window for him to sneak that throw in.
Couldn't connect on first. It's second down. Running the counter, Elliott. And they'll manage to contain him after about a 6-yard pickup. That was a Fatu Melifonwu there to make the play. A 5th defensive back into the game for the Lions. Third down coming. From the gun is Prescott. He's throwing deep to the left side. Wide open down the field, and he has it. And he's in for the big play touchdown. Oh, Brock, but there it is. Back down the field, we've got a flag, and I don't think this is going to count.
Holding offense.
Fighting all he could to keep his quarterback upright, but crossed the line there. That earns the holding penalty. Gotta figure out this third down here. Dak now from the gun. Short pass brought in. And he'll get it out to the 34 before he's tracked down. How about that play, Brock? On 3rd and 14, they find a way to convert.
Good offenses. Okay, good play callers know how to utilize their personnel. They know where they wanted him. They wanted him on a route in space where he could make that initial play comfortably, but then go to work after.
Handoff running right, Elliott. He's contained at the line for no gain. Terrion Arnold in on the stop. 2nd and 10, need to get some positive yardage here.
Brings up 2nd and
To
10.
throw, Prescott.
The 34-yard line.
And the cover just too good there. Didn't find a throw that he was confident in, so just throws it away. 3rd down coming up.
3rd down and 10 yards to go.
Now here's Prescott. Coverage holds up, and he just had to get rid of it.
This is why we hear about closing speed so often when you evaluate players. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released and alter that throw.
And he's getting nothing on that return. They wrap him up almost at the exact spot that he fielded that punt. That punt goes 63 yards. And the Lions will go on offense. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. They send St. Brown in motion left. Okay, the wide receiver's gonna get it to begin the drive. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a 1st down. Now after the run, we see some trainers headed out for an injured player who was shaken up. 1st down, ball at the 36. Gibbs now from the gun. Makes a cut to the right sideline. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. We'll get a stoppage now. Looks like we have someone banged up after that run in need of some attention. New slated downs to approach here from the 40. 1st down, and they go right back to him. He'll drive it forward, but won't get beyond the line. That was Micah Parsons making that play. And we'll pause now. Looks like we had an injury on the play, working to identify who it was. And yeah, it's Jahmyr Gibbs who's getting looked at by the trainers. They send a receiver in motion right. 2nd and 10 now. That's complete to St. Brown outright. And a nice gain here, but it's stopped short of the 1st. All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3. Running out of the gun with Montgomery. And he's tackled with the 1st down yardage.
That's a run that you'll take the result in the NFL every time. A nice play, a solid gain, but it's also a run that you know, and you may come back to, because if you were that close to breaking off an explosive one, you really break the backs of a defense.
Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
Kate, you give him much of the credit for this early lead. Heck, give every player in that defense now their 4th sack of this game credit, because that ambush on the quarterback, a big reason why they're in control of this game.
Offense to the line for 2nd down. Montgomery now up the middle. And he's stopped. Now we'll wait to hear what this flag is all about.
Holding offense.
So now, partner, got to reevaluate what to do on this next snap, because the holding call pushes him back quite a ways. Here we go, 2nd and very long. That one falls to the turf, couldn't hang on. It's incomplete.
You know, I'm not sure if he was hearing footsteps or just had a surprise break in concentration. So unusual to see one dropped unless there's a hit involved.
And like an empty wrapper, he just throws that one away.
Well, that's one you chalk up to the pressure earning that incompletion. They came in before he could find a target, hit him, altered that last-second attempt to get rid of it.
Punter takes the field on 4th down, and he sends this one flying. Now this one, not much of a chance of it staying in the field of play. They'll mark it out at the 13-yard line. Offense ready to begin this drive, 1st and 10. First down, here's Dak. It was there, but he couldn't hang on. That's incomplete. Trying to get that one to CeeDee Lamb. And we'll see what they do here on 2nd down. Throwing again is Dak. And he let his man just a little too much there. That's an incomplete pass.
Can't cover it much better than that. Really well covered, Kate, on that play. There just simply was not a window for him to sneak that throw in.
And that one's too far in front of him, so now they're facing 4th down.
I think if you look up in phase in the defensive encyclopedia, that is a picture-perfect form of it. He was all over him in coverage, really forcing the incompletion.
Punt team on, and they'll send this one away. And he hauls it in right near the 40-yard line. No return on that punt. And it's going to be their football coming up. Good field position for the Lions here as they head up to the line. 1st and 10. Throwing is gone. Taken in by Williams outright. And they'll make the stop up at the 46-yard line.
Well, that's a pretty similar result to a first down run play. Moves it forward, keeps you on schedule, and makes second and third down a whole lot easier to manage.
And he drives this across midfield and down into enemy territory. That's going to be a gain of 6, and they need only inches now here on third down.
Brings up third and inches.
Goff back to throw. He has the first over the middle. And they're going to bring him down at the 36. Pickup of 12 on that play. And that gives the Lions the first.
I'm not sure how this defense let that guy slip through him like that. On third down, nonetheless, he took that snap as an opportunity, and man, did he make an impact play.
On first down, it's Gibbs. And he runs this one down across the 35 and inside the 30. Good run, gets him 7. That brings up second and 3.
A 7-yard pickup. Brings up second and 3.
Shotgun snap here to Goff. That one's incomplete over the middle. Looking for his wide receiver there. And now they'll face a third and 3. From the gun, Goff. And he just gets rid of this one, but unfortunately, that means fourth down coming up.
And this is why scouts talk about a player's closing speed, Kate. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released. And that sure altered the throw.
Lambeau able to put it through. And the gap closes to 14 points. Fox now to kick this one away. Here's Kevontae Turpin on the return. They track him down, but a nice return in the end there, Brock. He's up to the 38. The Cowboys have it in great field position as they come up to the line, 1st and 10. This drive will begin with a run from Elliott. And this is a nice gain that stopped at the 47. Call it 9 yards. Looked like a first for a moment. It's 2nd and 1.
A gain of 9 brings up 2nd and 1.
Right back to Elliott now. And here's another stop made right at the line. Nice back-to-back reps from this defense. And the Lions into a nickel set for third down. Elliott running out of the gun. And he's dropped just short of the marker, maybe a yard away.
Yeah, that defense was flying to the ball. You see that outside toss. This is a pursuit drill that they work on over and over again. Get to that toss before it can really get started.
Now the Lions calling a timeout. They're first. And they'll have 2 left to work with here in the first half. Brian Anger on now to punt. And he's going to do the honors for the 4th time today. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Now Goff. Into the hands of Gibbs. They'll have him gain about a handful there. Brought down by Deron Bland. Lions really moving with a sense of urgency. Clock keeps running. This one is tipped away and incomplete. Good positioning to make a play on it. That forces third down. Goff setting to throw. It's another first half mistake. He's intercepted again. Trayvon Diggs has got it. And the Cowboys get it back on his 6th interception of the season.
Well, that's now 2, Kate, that they've gotten him for picks in this game, and he's got to be careful, right? You've got to protect the football. It is the greatest treasure you have as an offense. And this defense, well, they've got 2 in their pocket, and you know they're going to be going after number 3.
They're set up at the 35 now. Here's Prescott, 1st and 10. And he can't reel it in, incomplete. The tip definitely broke up that throw. So 2nd down coming up.
Leads to 2nd and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Prescott here from the gun. Short throw is dropped. This one's incomplete. It was there, he just couldn't corral it. So they're left facing 3rd and long. Now Prescott. Has him on the quick hitter. And they take him down right along the 30. Detroit calls timeout. It's 2nd. So 4th down brings out Brandon Aubrey to try for the Cowboys field goal. He was good on his 1st attempt and his 2nd from a little over 45 here. Gay's kick is good. And that makes this a 3-score game.
Okay, one of the areas that kickers and quarterbacks are similar, they want to get into rhythm, and no better way to feel good and get into that rhythm and start a game 2 for 2 as a kicker.
Aubrey now to kick this one away. Here comes Williams on the return. He stopped on the return at the 27. They're out and set, 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He's looking to throw. Nowhere to go with it, so he just throws it away.
That is a DB's best friend, pressure. That pressure earned that incompletion. They came in before he could find a target and hit him to alter that last-second attempt to get rid of it.
Dumps it off to his running back.
You know, you compare and contrast stats over the decades, Kate. One thing you see is the completion percentages are through the roof. In this day and age, compared to the 60s and the 70s, a big reason is just completions like that. Utilizing every one of your eligible receivers. That time, a running back in the flat.
That's going to pick up the 1st down after a gain of 26.
They've run this 12-yard out route, Kate, at the combine, well, all the way back to last century when I had to throw it. In this throw, this is a big boy throw. This is a differentiator. Can you make that deep out throw on time, on rhythm, and accurately? Well, that was teaching tape right there.
From the 44-yard line now, 1st and 10. Throwing again, it's Goff. And they get to him way behind the line on this one and take him down. Now after the play, we've got somebody injured down there, and it's their quarterback, Jared Goff, who's in some pain and needing attention. They really need some chunk yardage here on 2nd down. Another try following the sack. Oh, he lost the football. And the Cowboys scoop it up. And they stop him before he gets much on the return.
Well, sure, you're looking to try to get a 1st down on 2nd down. You're trying to create a manageable 3rd down, but I'll tell you what you're not trying to do, ever, is give the ball away. And that's what the offense does to the defense right there.
Now we have a stoppage. No challenges inside of 2 minutes and a half, but the replay official wants to take another look at this on their own. All right, so we all know what we're looking for here, Brock. Where did an elbow, maybe a knee, something touch down? And as it does, is the ball loose at that point?
Yeah, throw in forearm, wrist, shin. There's no question the offensive guy's screaming something hit the ground while the defense is hoping it didn't.
Take that fumble away. The officials overturn the call and say he was down. He lobs it up, looking deep to the right side. And that one is incomplete, and the clock stops with 18 seconds to go. No luck finding his receiver that time. And now they're staring at 4th and long. The Lions readying for the punt. Cavante Turpin on the return for the Cowboys. And he can't evade the coverage team for much. They stop him before he gets really anything on that return.
The Cowboys take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
Yep, as expected, they go to the ground to start this one off. And they're able to grind him to a halt after a pickup of 4.
He's brought down at the 31, a gain of 4.
So we've hit the end of 2. The Cowboys fighting to the halftime lead here in Dallas. Now we'll head over to Orlando, Florida. Check in with Jonathan Coachman for the EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Kate, thanks very much. More from you and Brock in a moment. But first, time for a look around the NFL to see what's going on here and what's already been an eventful afternoon of football. We'll begin up at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Rashad Bateman, a touchdown catch in the victory. From there, we're off to check out another game, and they were victorious in that one over the visiting San Francisco 49ers. Jackson Smith-Njigba, a touchdown catch in the victory. Finally, let's get down to the Bayou to check on the Saints at home at the Caesars Superdome. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Tampa Bay Bucks. Chris Olave, a touchdown catch in the victory. This was an extremely one-sided first half. One team showed up, ready to go. The other's been in a daze thus far, but there's still plenty of time left for this one to tighten up significantly.
As always, a hat tip to Coach for his hard work during the break, as we're happy to welcome y'all back for the start of our third quarter. Here's Raymond on the return. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. The Lions and this running back headed back out for a new series. And his performance has ailed against what has been a very stout defensive front. This hasn't been a contest to stack up there among his better showings, partner. They've made it real difficult to find any holes to hit, and there's been absolutely no space for him to work with. That one falls to the turf, couldn't hang on, it's incomplete.
There's the importance of staying in phase as a defender. He was all over him in coverage, and that really did help force the incompletion.
Man in motion headed right. They'll throw on 2nd and 10. It was there, but he couldn't hang on. That's incomplete.
You know, the goal on a lot of these short throws is to simply let the receiver create some yards after the catch, that yak. Well, I think he was thinking about the yak before he actually secured the catch.
Complete beyond the marker. And he's going to get this up to the 45 before he's brought down. And they've got themselves another 1st and 10.
First down, Lions.
Oh, saw some movement there. That's going to cost them 5.
Ball start.
There was a blitz coming, and that got somebody to panic and jump early. It cost them 5 yards. They're set back 5 by that false start. Now 15 yards to the marker. Play action on 1st down. Finds Laporta.
When you see play action, do all you can to get your eyes to the tight end, because that's their bread and butter. That play action gives him time off the line, helps chip a rusher, or even helps sell that fake. And then when he releases, he gets out, he gets some leverage. He gets to that edge before the defender can cover him.
Give him 11 yards, Brock, and a fresh set of downs. Markers reset, ball at the 37. To throw is Hooker. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Ball and defender arrived at the exact same time there. And it's going to be 2nd down. Now he'll throw off the play fake. Bails out of the pocket quick. Oh, he was on the move, but so was the defense, and they take him down. And the hits just keep coming for them on this play, it seems. Elsewhere on the field, they've got a player hurt and in need of some attention. All right, Cowboys showing nickel set, 3rd down. Here's Hooker. He put some juice on it deep. That one's caught at the 10-yard line. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets them up with 1st and goal.
I try to remind you a time or two, Kate, that you always got to start your read from the secondary forward. You got to see what the safeties are doing. If you're going to throw a ball in the middle third, deep downfield like that, you have to have tremendous awareness of where those safeties were, and the QB just nailed it.
4 downs now to get in. Here's 1st and goal. Working inside the red zone. Fires right away, but incomplete.
That play right there, Kate, that just goes to show you, you can't take any completion for granted. Even some of the shortest passes in the game plan.
One of the tight ends motioning right. Off the gut they go with Gibbs. And defenders continue to swarm over to get him at the line. Ball spotted right back at the line, so no gain. And now they've got to get 9 on 3rd and goal. To throw, Hooker. And the catch is made. Touchdown, Detroit. The Lions cut into the lead coming out of halftime. That was just gorgeous football right there. He saw the window, just had to wait for his guy to flow toward it, and that pass fit in beautifully for the touchdown.
Kate, this is one of those moments where a quarterback's got to take his pre-snap read and make sure he confirms it quickly post-snap. And when he does, and he's got space to fit that post in, like you said, it's a thing of beauty.
That one splits the uprights. And the Lions cut the lead down to 10. That lead trimmed just a bit, down to 10 points now as the kick is up and away. Short kick here, fielded at the 15. Tackle made as the return gets it out to the 32. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Trying an inside give to Elliott. And he found some running room for a nice gain. Call it 7 yards, and now they'll have 2nd down and 3.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3. At the 30.
Once again, Elliott. And they'll take him down at the 43-yard line. It's a gain of 4 there. And it'll be 1st down, Dallas.
Good for a Cowboys 1st down.
Prescott will look to throw. Completed over the middle. He's corralled after a modest 4-yard gain. Up from the secondary, and his rake straw on the tackle. 2nd and 6 coming up here.
At the 47-yard line.
Running left, it's Elliott. Down the sideline inside the 40. And as this play winds up out of bounds, let's see what that flag is all about.
Holding. Offense.
Would have liked to have kept that big play, but the officials and penalties say no, and it's got to come back. 2nd and 13. Short pass brought in. And they'll take him down at the 43-yard line.
He's just one of those guys, Kate. Even when he's not open, he's still a target thanks to that physicality and his ability to just play bully ball. They don't like forcing into coverage, but sometimes when you got a bully like him that can create space, just find a way to get him the ball.
First time this game they've looked to him. And that brings up 4th and long.
Oh, that drop is such a bummer because it ruins the payoff of such a well-designed play, Kate. Got the man open, beat the coverage, but then you got to go finish it. You got to go make that catch. I will say, keep that one in mind. They could revisit that play in the future.
Now the Lions offense gets ready to return to the field. And this is going to be far from the only time these replays will be on the screen over the next week, Brock, but they're not going to enjoy watching them. Have not taken care of the football, and this looks a whole lot like teaching tape for this defense.
Kate, think of all the great defenses over the last 50, 60 years. The 85 Bears, I think of the Seahawks and the Legion of Boom. 39 takeaways in their Super Bowl title winning year. Elite defenses have games just like this one where they take the ball away over and over and over and over again.
It's a new set of downs for him at the 32. They go play action on 1st. Too much lead on that throw. That falls incomplete ahead of his target.
The offense not shy about sending him downfield to try and stretch that secondary. Even still, one of the deeper targets you'll see him get. It's a shame they couldn't find a connection.
Flushed out of the pocket. He takes it himself. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs. Now we have a member of the Cowboys hurt after that play, and they'll need to get somebody out there to look at him. From the 44-yard line now, 1st and 10. They'll go right side with Gibbs. Across midfield to the 45. A flag's down as he stops. Looks like this one's on the offense. A game they were pretty happy with goes away via the penalty. And now we're going to wait to see how they respond. They'll run here following the penalty. He gets it ahead, winds up with about 3. Eric Kendricks there for the tackle.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
And he does quite a bit of damage before they finally take him down.
You know, Kate, we often talk about flipping the field in special teams, right? A kick return, a good punt. Well, an explosive play like that does the exact same thing. Look at the difference in field position. By hitting on that shot, you've totally flipped the field and the tone of this drive.
That last shot took him right down to the front of the red zone. Here's 1st down. Straight ahead with Gibbs. And defenders are there to get him at the line. Play stopped by Damone Clark. 2nd and 10. Need to get some positive yardage here.
At the Cowboys' 20-yard line.
Motioning one of the tight ends. Throwing off the play fake here. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And they're whistling for a stop here. That's one of the Cowboys who's in some pretty clear discomfort and in need of some assistance. And the Cowboys bringing on an extra DB here. 3rd down coming. Hooker to throw. He's on the move. He'll make a bid for it on the ground. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets them up with 1st and goal. Hand off to Gibbs from the gun. And he won't salvage that. It's a loss on the play.
I know from the position of the quarterback, Kate, sometimes you hand that ball, you put it in the belly of the running back, and you send him right into the teeth of a buzzsaw. You can feel it from the jump, and that call from the defense, well, it came at the perfect time.
Now try Gibbs again. And he fought the good fight there just to make it back to the line. Ball spotted right back at the line, so no gain, and now they've got to get 9 on 3rd and goal. Now Hooker bails out of the pocket quick.
Hooker scrambles.
Tick, 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 tick. You know, his internal clock right there told him it was time to escape, and good thing he listened to it. He was able to make something out of nothing and at least move them forward.
Michael Badgley on now for the Lions field goal. Pretty easy kick here, Brock, just 22 yards. Lambeau able to put it through. And that'll bring it back to within a score. The lead's 7.
In that close, kicks have to be automatic. That won't stop the head coach, though, from holding his breath for a couple seconds until he sees it's up and good.
Returning it from the 16. And great starting field position here as they bring him down beyond the 40. The Cowboys have it in great field position as they come up to the line, 1st and 10. On the option, it's Elliott. And he has it to the 42 before they make the stop. He finds him 16 yards and a new set of downs.
Some backs are easier to tackle than others. Some, well, they just choose violence. They look for those opportunities to bust through tackles and keep those legs pumping.
Going to the ground again on 1st. And as they bring him down, let's check the penalty flag.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
A game they were pretty happy with goes away via the penalty, and now we're going to wait to see how they respond. Running it after the penalty. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
I talked to a bunch of different GMs, Kate, especially around draft time, and they all say the same thing. Linebackers are so hard to find. It's hard to transition from the college game that's in so much space to this game where you've got to play in a phone booth, yet have that explosiveness to chase a play on the outside down like that linebacker just did.
So after that prior incompletion, we've got third down. To throw is Prescott. Short pass caught by his tight end. And he's able to get this down to the 36.
You can earn your money in the NFL in all sorts of different ways, but defensively, in a league where you're just not hitting as much in training camp, you're not tackling as much as they got to in the old days, when you can make a play in the open field, keep them short like that, I promise you some money will follow.
And this kick is good. He needed to get all of it there, and he did. And that'll push it to double digits in a two-possession game. Aubrey now to kick this one away. Here comes Williams on the return. Finds some space. He's past the 30. And it's a nice return here. They'll tackle him shy of the 35. The Lions returning their offense and this running back to the field. And his production is carried over into this second half. He keeps on running well, even with the workload they placed upon him. Trying to throw here out of the gun. And a man is there to knock that away.
Read and react, read and react, read and react. Got to read where the quarterback's eyes are going, and you got to react as he begins to throw to get to a spot and knock it away.
2nd and 10 now. He lofts it deep left. Really pushing the envelope on 2nd down, but the deep shot doesn't work.
There was a window there for a moment, but boy, did they close the gap before that throw could arrive.
Here he is on 3rd and long. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And the defense comes through to back him up ahead of 4th down.
Kate, I've seen a one-step drop. I've seen a 3, a 5, a 7. Some of the boots and play actions get more depth, but a 20-step drop? That's not going to cut it, except for this defense. It just adds a whole bunch of negative yards to that play.
They'll send out the punting unit. And after that drive went backwards, he's going to send this one forward. And he makes the fair catch inside the 45. So no return on that punt. And the Cowboys will get set to go on offense. From the 44-yard line now, 1st and 10. Dak out of the pistol. He puts some power on a deep one left. Brought in inside the 20. There it is. Touchdown, Dallas. The Cowboys lengthen the lead at the end of the 3rd. I love plays like this, Brock. Sometimes you just got to ask your dude, show me what you got, man. Show off those wheels, and he did just that.
Yeah, beauty in simplicity, right?
Yep.
Now, when you run that fly route, you got to win right from the jump. And you got to protect yourself from the sideline, too. Don't get pushed to the boundary. Give your quarterback room to throw it up, and you can find pay dirt.
Extra point from Aubrey is up and good. And the Cowboys take a 3-possession lead. Aubrey now to kick this one away. Here comes Williams on the return. Good looking return here, and he's got room. And he manages the 35 before they can stop him. Good field position for the Lions here as they head up to the line. 1st and 10. Hooker will look to throw. And they can't connect on the deep look. Still a couple of snaps to play with, though, here. We've got 2nd down.
Leads to 2nd and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Now here's Hooker. Dumped off to his running back. And he breaks even, but that's it. Brought down at that line of scrimmage. Donovan Wilson getting there for the stop. A very active quarter for us. Plenty of points in that frame as we reach the end of 3. It's not quite over yet, but it'd take a pretty miraculous comeback. We've got a 3-score game as we get set to start the 4th quarter. All right, Cowboys showing nickel set, 3rd down. Hooker set to pass. That's a catch. Looks like he's in bounds. Good effort, but still short of the first.
You know, I like the completion. You never turn down a completion. That's just not the right throw to make in that spot to move the chains.
They got to jump up front as long as none of their guys win early, and this is going to give them the first down.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
He thought he had the timing down and could make the play, but just a hair too early.
Automatic first down.
A chance to get off the field goes by the wayside. The defensive penalty keeps him out there. They'll throw it again. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Tough one to retain through that hit. And now it's 2nd down. Throwing from the gun here. It's taken in by Williams. And he goes out a little short of the 40. 3rd and just 2 to go. Throwing again, it's Goff. That's caught for the first. And they're going to haul him down a step before the 30, right at the 31. A new set of downs awaits him. Here's 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, Goff. Short throw is dropped. This one's incomplete. Had that one, but just couldn't see it through. So it'll be 2nd down. Shotgun snap here to Goff. And he doesn't see a window he likes, so he just got rid of that one. Then brings up 3rd down. So after getting that pass away, he's in some visible discomfort. Training staff out now to see how serious it may be. Last pass unsuccessful, and they have 3rd down here. From the gun, Goff. That one's cut along the left sideline. And they have this well into the red zone now at the 15. They'll come up 1st and 10.
And the Lions first down.
From the red zone now. And he will score. It's a Detroit touchdown. The Lions get it back to within 2 possessions. It's a Sam Laporta touchdown. Well, we all know that he's somebody they like to have working down near the end zone, Brock, and there is so many ways they know how to use him down there.
Yeah, things are constantly different down there when you're trying to defend him, which is what makes defending him so tough, borderline impossible at times. He can make the smallest little tweaks to his route just like a receiver would, and it's a totally different animal, a nightmare for these defenses.
That lead trimmed just a bit, down to 10 points now as the kick is up and away. The return starts at the 18. And he brought this one almost to midfield before he's tackled. Offense headed back out there now for Dallas. And they're already up by 2 scores, Brock, but another one here would really put this one out of reach. The Cowboys have it in great field position as they come up to the line, 1st and 10. Elliott straight ahead. And it took a couple of guys to haul him down there after a gain of just 1.
You know, they got some positive yards. That's a good thing. But too many plays like that, it just is too hard to pile together, get first downs against the better defenses in this league.
Has him on the quick hitter. And he's tackled after getting this to the opposing 46. They come through with a nice gain there. Gain of 10, 1st down. New set of downs for him from the 46. Elliott's on 1st and 10. And he's got a decent gain before being brought down. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that's going to bring up 2nd and 6.
42-yard line. A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6.
They run it from the gun with Elliott. And he's tackled after gaining a handful. Now after the run, we see some trainers headed out for an injured player who was shaken up. 3rd and a lone yard coming up. On the toss, here's Elliott. Escapes a defender. And they bring him down around the 34. Give him 3 on that game. And that's good for a Cowboys 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 34-yard line.
Elliott running out of the gun. And they try to power it forward, but only a couple of yards there.
You know, not a ton of yards, but still showing that commitment to the ground game. The type of run that keeps the defense from loading up in coverage and focusing entirely on that passing game.
And they bring him down after the play reaches the 26. Call it a gain of 6, and they need only 2 now on 3rd down.
That's a gain of 6. Makes it 3rd and 2.
Dak now from the gun. Throwing the out route complete. And he's going to go out of bounds just short of that red zone. 5 yards on that play and enough for a new set of downs. All set up now for 1st and 10.
1st and 10.
1st down, here's Dak. Oh, that's a tough one. Couldn't bring in the touchdown clean. It falls incomplete. It's going to be 2nd down.
Makes it 2nd and 10 at the 21-yard line.
Here's a give up the middle. And he gets it down to the 13-yard line. A strong 9-yard effort there, Brock, and it brings up 3rd and 1.
A gain of 9 brings up 3rd and 1.
Working out of the gun, it's Prescott. Escapes out to the left. He's running for it. 9-yard pickup, and it sets him up with 1st and goal.
As long as these are the results he's getting, they're going to be just fine with him calling his own number. He does such a good job of seeing the field and knowing when it's his time to take it himself.
They'll run here with Elliott. And he's not going to reach the end zone. They bring him down at the 1. It's 2 yards on the gain, and now it'll be 2nd and goal. Trying an inside give to Elliott. And he's in for the touchdown. The Cowboys can put this out of reach as they make it a 16-point lead. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Cowboys take a 3-possession lead. Aubrey now to kick this one away. Here comes Williams on the return. His return reaches that 34-yard line before he stopped. The visitors and Jared Goff set to take over on offense once again. And as we can see here, it hasn't been the easiest game for him to operate out there, right? Number of rough moments for him. This defense able to pick him off twice to highlight their performance against him. Here's 1st and 10 from the 34. Goff. He throws a bullet deep to the right side. He drops it! Oh, a huge gain in hand, but he couldn't finish the catch. No dice on that prior pass. Here's 2nd down. Throwing is gone. Into the hands of Gibbs. And it's good yardage, but they tackle him short of the sticks. All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3. Now Goff. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. So they opt for the shorter pass later in the progression on that play, Brock, but man, the defense took that away too.
Well, what they tell us yesterday in those production meetings, nothing comes easy. No easy completions from shots down the field to those checkdowns to the running back. Wanted to make this offense earn everything. And they just did.
And he's tackled after getting this to the opposing 46. The drive picks up here, 1st and 10.
First down, Lions.
They are throwing it again. The ball's out, he lost it. Oh, and they pick it up, time to push for that marker. Almost the impact play this defense was searching for, but they could only get half the job done, partner. Fumble forced, but they couldn't recover.
I'll tell you what else it forces, though. That coordinator, that play caller on the other side, now got a little bit of doubt about his ball handlers. Got to have better ball security than that.
Complete to Raymond. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
I'm sure Coach, the play caller, doesn't mind making the job a little bit easier. You know, play calling's a lot simpler and easier when you count on the offense to move the chains on those early downs.
Got Williams, and it's complete. And they have this well into the red zone now at the 15.
It's a gain of 17 yards. And the Lions.
First down throw from Goff. An alert play defensively there. He got a hand on it to tip it away, and that makes it 2nd down.
The coverage line to Vaughn Clark.
A give up the gut to Montgomery. And that hit stops him in his tracks. Offense in the hurry up here. Goff on 3rd. Short pass brought in. And this play reaches the 12-yard line before the stop is made. Here he goes. Got to have this on 4th down. And it's going to be incomplete. Couldn't connect to extend the drive. Looks like play has been paused. We've got a timeout taken by the defense. His drive will begin with a run from Elliott. And they beat him to the edge. That run stopped back at the line. No gain there that time, and it's 2nd and 10. We've reached the 2-minute warning from Dallas. Cowboys close to picking up their 5th win. 2nd and 10, need to get some positive yardage here. Once again, Elliott. And they're able to drag him down as he reaches the 15-yard line. Just a couple on the pickup there, so back-to-back runs leave him with a 3rd and 8.
3rd and 8.
From the gun is Prescott. And they can't connect on the 3rd down deep shot. Love the courage they had to try it, but it's incomplete, and now we've got 4th down.
So many coaches love 3rd downs, and they practice them so much, Kate. Why? Because they're the money down in the NFL. Whether it's a close game already out of hand, coaches know, got to execute and convert on these 3rd downs.
And some textbook work covering that punt. It is stopped after almost nothing on the return. The visitors headed back out on offense. Their quarterback returning to the field now. And on that last drive, Brock, he crossed a notable threshold in passing yards for the season. Always nice when you can reach one of those plateaus to look back on after the year's over. On 1st down, it's Goff. Connection made to Raymond. And he'll take it past the midfield stripe and start the push into Cowboys territory. Now the Lions calling a timeout, their first. From just shy of midfield on 2nd down. And he's not quite that fast. Led him just a bit too much. That's incomplete. No connection on the last play, and now it's 3rd down. Here's Goff. Cover man is there, and he harmlessly knocks it away. Incomplete.
I'll tell you what, Kate, that's a really nice play in coverage. That linebacker looking like a cornerback on that play. Perhaps those cover guys could take some notes on how to stay in position and, most importantly, swat that pass away.
Running for it, here's Gibbs. And an opening doesn't materialize. He's cut near the line of scrimmage. And we'll pause now. Looks like we had an injury on the play. Working to identify who it was. And yeah, it's Jahmyr Gibbs who's getting looked at by the trainers. The Cowboys have it in great field position as they come up to the line, 1st and 10. On the give, it's Elliott. And they've got him behind the line for a big loss. Now after the run, we see he's visibly shaken up. Team medical staffers headed over to take a look. Everyone's prepped. It's 2nd down now. The running back gets it on the draw. And he'll only get this one up to about the 47. It's only a gain of 1. Back-to-back misfires on the ground, and they're facing 3rd and long.
3rd and 12.
They give it to him again. And he's officially in enemy territory now. They're going to give him the opposing 49. So the Cowboys take the win here in Arlington. And this is exactly how they wanted to go into that bye week, partner, with a victory and some positives to build on in that nice extra time off. This has been another edition of the NFL on EA Sports. With all our crew here and my broadcast partner, Brock Heward, I'm Kate Scott. The Cowboys are winners as we say so long from Dallas.